Hi, and welcome to Telescope Talks, a product of the Telescope. I'm Lexi Thurman, a staff writer, and today we will be discussing the evolution of music in terms of quality and what many view as the downfall of music. To talk about this subject, we have John Garner, the history of rock music and jazz guitar professor here at Palomar College. Also joining us are members of the San Diego-based indie rock band Stomp, Garrett Duffy, their lead guitarist, as well as Jake Hedquist, their rhythm guitarist and vocalist. In this podcast, with the help of John Garner, Garrett Duffy, and Jake Hedquist, we aim to have traced what historical occurrences caused the music industry to diverge into what it is today, pointing out both flaws and strengths of the current music and its production to determine whether or not its present-day standing is better off. We are here with our history of music professor, history of rock music professor.
I'm John Garner, Professor Garner, and the history of rock music, one of the teachers, and the jazz guitar teacher.
Awesome. All right. And then we have two members from a local band named Stomp. Can you guys introduce yourselves?
I'm Jake, and I play rhythm guitar.
I'm Garrett, and I play lead guitar.
Today I want to discuss, as I've already told you guys, the evolution of music and basically just our opinions on those things and where we stand on that, what we think has happened over the years, and where we think we are headed, where we're at right now, just that sort of thing. And so, yeah, just jump right into it. What do you guys think about today's music?
I think it's really hook heavy, but it's missing a lot of the meat around the hook.
What do you mean by that?
So I think a lot of people do a good job at coming up with something super catchy, and it's really good at grabbing your attention. But I think it lacks the parts around what is the catchy part, the part that really tells the story. And I feel like that is what differentiates all the songs from each other the most. And I feel like a lot of the songs are lacking effort into those ingredients.
Would you say that you approach that differently in your guys' band? How would you guys approach that problem in your music?
We definitely try to put in a lot of effort towards our verses. We try to make sure every song we write has some sort of meaning to us to it, and it's not just about trying to grab other people's attention. It's definitely still for us in a way that we write the music so that we like it, because that's the most important part to us.
I think that's really important. I think that's where it started. I think that's where we've kind of strayed from.
Yeah.
So that's definitely got a part to it. What about you? What do you think?
I feel like it's hard for some songs, because I feel like for some songs there's like one part of the song that is like, that makes the song, and then the hard part is making everything else like up to par with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true. Well, it used to suck, but now there's Stomp to the rescue. I think they're both correct, but I also think this has always been the case.
Yeah.
This is probably the position I'm going to take. There's been really great and terrible music all the way through. So I think you're right. I think they've gotten really good at knowing what pushes people's buttons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's all cake, all candy. And so that's good. You guys are trying to build out the story. That was a good observation.
Yeah. That's definitely like the biggest pickup I've gotten, because everybody's always trying to, advertise their band through like the short videos online, and so they always need that good hook to catch them through those videos.
Exactly. So that's what I was going to say. It maybe the nature of the media is forcing that to happen.
Yeah, I think that's definitely a possibility.
Because you only have a few seconds.
Yeah.
To grab them.
It's even shorter than the video length can even be. Like the attention span of people just scrolling through, it's like you got like 3 seconds tops to show yourself. Yeah.
Because when we're making songs, I'm like always thinking like, oh, that's the part that we're gonna use for.
So you're aware of it as you're composing.
Yeah.
That's a trip.
Yeah.
But yeah. So you do have to do that. That's the business. But also, keep to your intent. Write for yourselves first.
Of course.
And there'll be other people like you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's weird. I want to hear what else you guys think about that technology area of it, because we've talked about the attention span, but what about just technology in general, even making the music? Because a lot of artists today, it's almost extinct to see a band now, because you can do everything on your own through a software. How do you think that has impacted music, diversity, and just music in general?
I think it's done a good job at allowing people to get their ideas out really quick, and I think it's a great thing because it can be portable to also just affordable. If you want to put together a home studio, it's much easier these days because you don't have to spend so much on like a mixer and all the things you need to, get the recording and get the right sound. But at the same time, I also feel like it's so quick that it also allows people to kind of rush their ideas. And then on top of that, I think a whole nother conversation to go down is like the guitar gear or just gear in general that's turned to all electric. Because we've given into that and now we play amp simulators. But I've always been a big fan of like tube amps and all that because I feel like I even play better just having that near me and hearing or feeling it from the amplifier because it pushes air differently, like 100%.
Would you contemplate going back to that, or do you think that is the way to go in music now?
I think if I had like a crew and people that could help me carry my stuff, then I'd definitely go for the tube amps. But for now, because it's all me carrying it, it's like, with us playing shows and fighting storage in our vehicle, it's like you kind of have to go small and light to get everybody in the car all in one spot.
Yeah. And what else do you guys think about the technology aspect of it?
I think it's definitely easier to like record because I've been playing like in cover bands since I was like 12, and I always wanted to like have my own recorded music, but I always thought it was like too hard. And then all of our stuff is like recorded on a MacBook. But I feel like with that, when you're recording on your own, you kind of give yourself more like leeway, I guess. Because like if you're paying to go to a studio, you're gonna go in and get it done and do your best. But if it's on your own time, it's like I feel like you're not gonna get it done as good as if you put money towards it. Then you're gonna want to make sure it's perfect and get it done when it needs to get done.
Do you think that might have a role in the possible decrease in music ability in today's music? Or what other things do you think play into that?
The fact that they don't have to play live as much. As certainly my generation and then my teacher's generations, my teacher was playing, like I said to these guys before, I play a lot of gigs. I'm a gigging musician, but I'm very rare. I'm like a dinosaur. I'm a rare creature that was able to do this. In my teacher's day, he said they would play easy, 5 days a week.
Yeah.
Because there was all these venues and all this stuff. So people got good because you had to be good. You didn't get to punch in and punch in and punch in and fix, and you just have to go play, And like to your point, and then when you were going to make an album, if you were still nobody, you got a day or two at the studio. You had to go and knock it out.
You have to get it done.
Yeah, right? Which is good because it makes you make those decisions instead of like wondering if you should replace that drum sample for 3 months. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
So it's definitely pros and cons. Like it's democratized it, as you said. Everybody can do it, but then everybody can do it.
Yeah.
And now there's so much. Right?
Yeah.
With the simultaneous reduction of places to actually go out and play.
Yeah, definitely.
It's odd, plus and minus.
You mentioned how just the vast amounts of music that there is today. And according to Reuters, I want to know if you think that this has anything to do with it, the amount of music. But according to Reuters in 2012, they said that the diversity of transitions between note combinations in general in music has diminished in the last 50 years. So basically, just the uniqueness of sounds, combinations in songs is just going down consistently. Do you think that the vast amounts of music that we have now today has an impact in that? Or what do you think is causing that?
I actually think it's the internet. I think it's the fact that we're all hearing the same stuff. So regionalism is pretty much dead.
Yeah.
Right? So you can be into a band from the countryside of France, and they're going to be listening to the same stuff that you are. So we're all drawing from the same pool, and then we're all trying to get everybody's attention in 3 seconds. So that really starts to narrow down your options, right? For the tunes, for the deep cuts, you can do whatever you want, but for those ones where you're trying to grab people, I think it's just the fact that we're all listening to the exact same stuff. Even if you're in your niches, you know what I mean? Your niche is listening to the same stuff.
Yeah.
So that's one theory.
No, that's definitely a great one. I think not even just on the creator side, but the audience side is also hearing the same thing all the time, and so their ears are just tuned to, like, right when they hear that sound, it's like, oh, that kind of sounds like this song, I like this song, so I'll just add this one, but it's not really varying much from the original, like, thing that they liked, and so it's not pushing music forward very much, and really we're just going backwards or just sitting still.
Would you have anything to add?
I think it's a good thing that there's like a lot of music. There's just more things to draw inspiration from, so that people can make more things.
I see that. Yeah. And you, I know earlier you mentioned that there was always bad music. It didn't just spawn. But I want to know has that increased? Do you think that it has increased?
Certainly.
Okay.
Yeah, because we're staring at GarageBand right here. Everybody can do this. So there's going to be more bad music. Because before, you had to get to a certain level before you even had access to put your music out there.
Yeah.
And there was still bad music. Now there's nothing. Everybody can put it out there, and they do. There's like, I don't know, what is there, like 500,000 songs go up on Spotify a day or something crazy like that, you know? So I think it's always been this way, but the gatekeepers were a good thing and a bad thing.
What do you mean by that?
The gatekeepers were the ones deciding whether you got a record deal or you were going to the studio and they were going to put money behind you, and i.e. be heard. And the good side is they picked people that were ready to be there or that had something new to say. The bad thing is a lot of people got shut out that shouldn't have been.
And what do you say that kind of relates to today? Because many people got shut out before, but so many people get shut out today. It's almost impossible to make it in music today.
Just because of the noise, you mean?
Yeah, and how do you think that is going to impact music, and the fact that just there's not many ways to get into it?
You mean to get attention? To get attention,
to get anything. Because I know so many musicians, and just all you can do is really play cover bands. You know, I mean, and then you can get, I think it's great how much traction you guys are getting. I think it's incredible. But it's rare. It's so rare now.
Well, I think we have an illusion of what a musician's life was. There was this golden era where it was profitable, where people did well. I mean, still people got ripped off left and right. But once the CD died, that all died. And before that, I mean, musicians have always been broke. You know what I mean? Yeah. There was a golden era, and we're going back, I think, more to the way it was. Playing a cover band, we call that function music, right? It's functional. You know, that's always been where the money is. Yeah. It still is. Right, I'll play a ton of restaurants, and like last week I played 5 gigs. One of the gigs paid as much as the other 4.
Wow.
The function gig.
It's a cover band, yeah.
It was corporate. We're still playing jazz, but it was corporate.
Okay.
So we call it a potted plant gig, or a sonic wallpaper, where they take your jazz combo, they put you in a corner, and you play for them to I'll chat over.
Yeah.
But you make 3 or 4 times as much. So I think it's been this way. The money is worse now, for sure.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the money's worse now. It was better. Like we're getting paid the same amount we did 20 years ago. And like I said, my teacher was talking about being paid, playing a bar gig on a Friday night and making $300, and that was when it was probably like in the 1970s or something like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That would be like going and playing a gig and everybody gets $1,000 or something.
Yeah.
That's
ridiculous.
awesome. Yeah. Sounds amazing.
Yeah. So I'm kind of rambling. Hopefully I
No,
answered
that's
your
okay.
question because I've got the elephant in the room is just sitting here waiting for us to get to it. AI.
Oh, yes.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
But so anyways,
No, let's
someone
go right into
no,
AI.
whatever.
Well, I think
Yeah, if you guys have something to say.
along the sides of money, I think that's another thing that causes problems with the the songs that are being created, because now that people don't get paid exactly for their music and it's more for their live performance, they put, I feel like, less effort into the music they're releasing because they're just trying to grab the attention and really show off music at the shows, because we don't get paid much for streams and all that because they're not buying our actual music. They're just listening to it through a service, and so you get paid like fractions of a penny for each stream, and it's not really a way to make money just through music. You have to really go showcase it live and go give a performance to make the money from it.
I've got a concept for you. Okay, this is something I've been thinking about for a while. So because it's the topic you brought up, basically your recording is advertising to get them to come to the show.
Yeah.
That's basically it, right?
Yeah.
So you can maybe make something at the door. More likely you've got some merch, because that's the only place you're going to really make money.
Yeah.
But it turns out this maybe have always been the case. This is a strange concept, but it goes back to when we started making money at music, which would have been like 150 years ago. So there was music, and the way people made money was publishing. So there's music, the desired outcome is music. But what they were actually selling was paper,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
They were selling paper.
The sheet music.
Yep.
Yeah.
And people had to read music and play music. This may point to why music used to be more advanced, because more people were more
Musically literate. Yeah.
Then we went to records, the first records. You're buying wax or plastic. They're selling a tangible thing.
Yeah.
And music is to get you to buy a piece of plastic. And we went to tapes. You bought tapes. The music was to get you to buy a tape, right?
Yeah.
Then it went to CDs. The music was to get you to buy that CD. It's an actual physical, tangible thing.
Yeah.
Then Napster comes along, messes everything up, right? Free downloads. Everybody's pirating everything. And LimeWire was even better. And then the iTunes store comes to fix it. But iTunes lost money. The reason for iTunes was to sell the iPod. That's where they made their money. So again, it's music to sell a thing, right?
Yeah.
So maybe it's not changed. We just don't have the thing yet to sell.
Yeah,
What
that's true.
t-shirts?
Maybe it just hasn't come around yet, and we're waiting on the next, item to
Yeah.
have the music sell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What would that be, though?
Exactly. What would that be?
Because it's all digital now.
T-shirts. That's what people are doing. Like, I know people in big bands that they're like, yeah, I'm really a T-shirt salesman. Yeah. What is it? Whoever figures that out is gonna kill.
Maybe that's a good thing that that physical media is coming back right now, then.
Yeah. The whole album.
It can never replace anything, though.
No. So it's weird. So the live thing, you're selling the experience thing, the tribalism and stuff like that, but that's going to come with the AI discussion. But So it's always been a thing. So if you guys can figure out the thing.
Yeah.
And also, the reason I say this is just so that we don't get too doom and gloom about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's always been kind of rough and shady.
Yeah.
This is just a new version of it.
Yeah.
You know?
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
It always is. The next years there is a change, and people adapt to the change, and they figure it out, and then another change happens again. So yeah. No, we're going in fully expecting that.
Yeah.
All right, do you guys have anything else to add on that? Then I want to go right into AI. I think it's a great place to go with this conversation. Yeah, so you seem to have something strong.
Oh, man. So these guys are in a good position because they're actual musicians and they can compose and they can record and they play shows.
Yeah.
So they're in a good position because I think that's going to increase in value. I think people that can actually do it in the real world are going to become even more special. And as everything else becomes more synthetic, people are going to want to come and see you and be part of that tribe because we're still critters and we want to be together. That's how we work, even if it's our little subgroup or whatever. So I think the people that actually do it are going to do well for a generation. And then I'll get to the doom and gloom. But for a generation, I think it's going to be good. They're going to want to see real humans.
Yeah.
And maybe always. The commercial side of music is toast.
Yeah.
It's toast. Like the jingle writers, all that kind of stuff, making commercial music, all that, those guys are going to get wiped.
That didn't even occur to me.
They're getting wiped out.
Yeah.
I used to play guitar for studios that did jingle work. I've done Subaru commercials and this kind of stuff. But the MIDI packs got so good, they could start replacing the actual guitar parts too, right? So I was doing this up until maybe 2015. And then it kind of fell off the cliff because the digital got too good.
Mm-hmm.
And now those composers are all going to get wiped out. Because when I went in to do a session, they weren't asking you to invent new music. They're like, play a song that sounds like 80s shred metal. Okay, play a song that sounds like Mumford and Sons. Or Jack Johnson. They'd say, sound like this.
Yeah.
AI's going to do that for nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So they're all toast. And people that play music, I think, are going to increase in value.
Yeah.
That's my rosy picture.
Yeah, because I've I don't know if you know the app Suno, but that's the AI music. I've used it. It's just it lacks that personal aspect of it 100%. It doesn't feel emotional in any way. It's void of that human.
How much of that is one, it's the beginning of it.
Mm-hmm. That's
Two,
true.
How much of it is because you know where it's coming from?
I guess so.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be hard to tell, right?
Mm-hmm.
We can all still hear it right now. When it's AI music, you're like, something's like it's lifeless, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
You can still hear it, but how much longer?
Yeah. Yeah. It really is fighting the clock.
A year or two.
It just keeps going.
Yeah.
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 I've created the AI has created in those apps some pretty complex. I mean, it's definitely just pulling from other things, which is a whole other thing, but it's already gotten pretty good.
Yeah. So I mean, that raises another question. I probably didn't want to go here, but aren't we doing that too? Aren't we pulling from all the things we've heard?
100%.
I've definitely heard that opinion.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is a better computer, or inventive machine, but
Yeah.
I don't know how much longer. What I'm curious is, once the AI is done with us and decides to write music for other AI, I want to hear what they write for each other. That's going to be some weird
This
stuff.
human stuff is boring.
Yeah.
Human spice it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think people that play are gonna. I I think it's going to be okay.
Yeah. I do think there is space to say that it can be used as a tool. Have you guys ever used it as a tool, like any of those apps, to say, okay, this is a cool idea, let me build off of this?
Not for the sound.
Okay.
Definitely not for the sound. Like, I mean, I've always used AI for homework. I'll admit that much. But when it comes to music, I definitely try to keep it as organic as possible and keep it from me, because that's, if I'm creating music for myself, that's exactly what I would do. I wouldn't take it off of AI, because the point is it's coming from me, and now I have a sound of something that resembles what I was feeling in that moment or something. And that's special to me. It may not be special to someone else, or it may not be their thing, but for me, like, creating music is normally for myself, and I want it to be like almost a record of where I was at that point in my life. Yeah.
I wonder if there's something to detect.
There is already.
There is.
Yeah, you'll see on YouTube, in the description, you see these videos, it'd be like 1950s, blah blah blah, and it's all AI images, and then the music is now AI generated, and it will say in the description, some portion of this is AI generated.
Yeah.
So they can tell.
Well, that's cool.
That is good.
Yeah.
I don't know. I want to know what you think where the copyright stuff is going with this.
Tech doesn't care.
No.
No, their philosophy, look, they destroyed the music business. They destroyed it, and they don't care. Their philosophy is, what is it? Better to ask for forgiveness than permission.
Yeah.
Right? They do not care.
Yeah.
Tech destroyed the music business for a lot of people. And it worked, so why would they stop doing it?
Yeah. Where beyond AI do you see where does that opinion stem from? What else did it destroy in music in your eyes?
Spotify.
Oh, yeah. All of that.
Streaming.
Yes.
Yeah. They've always taken, it's new boss is the same as the old boss. Before it was the record labels ripping off the artists. Now it's the tech companies ripping off the artists. But they've made a deal. They were about to get crushed by their labels because of copyright.
Yeah.
And then they all made a deal together.
Yeah.
So now Spotify is really the labels.
Yeah, that's my music technology teacher was teaching me all about that. They're like, people are getting mad at, the streaming services now and ignoring the labels, but really the labels are working with the streaming. They're making their money from it too.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
They worked out a deal.
Yep, 100%.
Yeah, so YouTube got launched on pirated everything. And then eventually they got big enough and they could hire their army of lawyers and then work their way around it. So I think it's just, they've been doing it for 20 years. Why would they stop?
Yeah.
They're going, and AI is trained on everybody's. This is, I don't know if you guys are following it, but this is a big case in the United Kingdom right now about, because a couple of large artists, like Elton John and those kind of that status are, trying to fight this legislation that will let AI train on everybody's everything without compensation.
Yeah.
Well.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it's interesting to look into AI is creating it, but then whose voice is it using? Like, because, if you say, AI, write me a, Elton John song or something, and it's his voice on it, what does that mean? Because should he be getting paid, or is that completely not, like, a part of him? Like, how does that work? That's something I've been wondering.
That's a good, to me it seems fairly obvious, like, why, if his voice doesn't have value, then why are you using it?
Yeah, of course.
So obviously it has value.
Yeah.
And what should that value be?
Yeah. I don't know. It's tricky. It really is, because, what if there is a way for people to make money off of AI by using their voice for AI? Like, what if it turns into, the robots writing it, but we're being used to write it. So
Mm-hmm.
is there like a part of, the money that we get and all that?
Yeah.
I think that's
what-
part of the future.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or I think it's part of like right now.
I guess, once
Right.
the laws get set.
I think that's all happening right now. I think we're going to move beyond this pretty fast. So.
Yeah. I want to move past to lyrics, if is are all right with that. I have this, there was an article in 2024 from Nature, world's most cited scientific research journal. And they did a study on over 350,000 songs and over 5 decades and 5 genres, okay? And they have found that lyrics are more simple in terms of vocabulary, richness, complexity, and number of repeated lines in the past 5 decades in these genres and in those 350,000 songs that they compiled into this. And I want to know what you guys think, one, about the importance of lyrics, and where you guys think lyrics have gone since as time has gone on.
You're the best lyric writer, so you gotta get this one.
I don't have much to say about like the evolution of lyrics. I think that I do hear in older music that there is more like wordplay, I guess, and just more. There's just more thought into it, and now I feel like it's a lot less. Like for us, we don't really. Most of our songs, it's either me or our lead singer kind of just freestyling, which I think is another thing that comes with recording at home, because there's no. You're not paying, so you can kind of just do whatever. But if you're paying to go to a studio, you're obviously going to have a bunch of stuff written and you're going to go do it. But since there's no actual deadline or money put up front, we kind of just wait till we go record it and then come up with something. So I guess I could say that for us, lyrics don't have as much value. But I think that a big reason for that is like the DIY home recording, which I guess is a downside of it. But I'm very grateful for it because we can actually. Because I'm in high school and there's no way I could afford studio time. So yeah.
No, that makes sense.
I think it's like a 50-50 for us, because we've started some songs off with the instrumentals and then we'd carry those to the studio. And I think those songs, some of them, the lyrics, were, because they're the last part, we wrote them in the studio. But we also have songs where our lead singer will bring in like an entire story he kind of wants to tell, and we write the instrumentals around that.
Oh, that's awesome.
And I think it really is kind of like a 50-50, because sometimes the instrumentalists kind of have some fun, just sounds they want to create, and then the singer kind of has like a story he wants to create. And so sometimes those can be like equally put in, sometimes it's a little more instrumental, sometimes it's a little bit more lyrical.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm a little skeptical of their data set.
Yeah. This was from, I can't remember what the
No, I've seen it.
You have seen
You've
it?
seen this article.
Okay.
Yeah. But I'm still a little skeptical. Just listen to music in the 50s. There's a lot of nonsense. But I will say this, or I'll ask this question. Are we getting more literate as a culture or less literate?
I believe less literate.
Probably.
I think less, yeah.
So that may have something to do with it. Also, I think until the 1960s and really the 70s is when it took off, people didn't write their own lyrics. Musicians, they were professional lyric writers. That was their job.
Yeah.
So they're going to nerd out on that more.
Yeah.
Right? Whereas, like you say, you're like, we need words for this song.
Yeah.
So people will listen to it.
Yeah.
It's a different aesthetic.
Of course.
So I think just the idea that there was a whole professional thing writing the lyrics, and it was just about a different thing. It's much more about the vibe now, and the 60s, that whole boomer thing changed how it functioned.
What do you mean by that?
Well, you could write songs that people didn't understand, that had obtuse meaning, that was hidden.
Do you mean like the psychedelic 60s kind of weird lyrics like that?
Yeah, all that. Even something straight up as Bob Dylan, you can interpret a lot of different ways. Who's he talking to? What's this story really about?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the Beatles and all that. Like, the Beatles are a perfect example. They start out in the old era, and also with a bunch of bubblegum pop songs. Those are not deep lyrics. Love Me Do.
Yeah.
You know, stuff like that. And yet they end up with, you know, A Day in the Life, you know, social commentary, Imagine, stuff like that.
Yeah.
That traces sort of what happened in the culture.
Yeah.
You know, lyrics, and also the band being the lyricist became, this is like a recent invention. Well, recent in terms of the universe. Like the 70s.
Yeah.
You know, and if you're, even though tons of people have other people writing their lyrics, nobody wants to be caught. You know what I mean? It's like shameful, right?
Did it used to be shameful?
No. Frank Sinatra didn't write any of his songs.
I didn't know that.
None. He didn't write the music. He didn't write the lyrics. But he was an amazing performer and deliverer of the song. Billie Holiday wrote like 2 songs, you know, and these people are considered the greatest, you know.
Yeah.
Louis Armstrong, he didn't write any songs.
Oh.
This all came later, you know, which puts a lot of pressure on a small group of people. Everybody's trying to, no matter the genre, to be the Beatles, to have that kind of musical and lyrical firepower.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Forgetting that they had George Martin, and they had these outside people that really made them sound way better than they would have otherwise. So I wonder if it's because there was a professional class of lyricists. And then again, we're being told to dumb things down. You know?
Yeah, for those 3 seconds. So.
Yeah, for that 3 seconds of attention. And also, like, when we're writing stuff, they say write at an 8th grade level or 5th grade level or whatever, when it's for the public.
Yeah.
They want us to write this way. I had to, so we play a lot of different kind of gigs or festivals or fairs or something, especially fairs. They always have some, like, you know, part-time MC guy that gets up there and has to read the introduction to every band. So you have to type your introduction up and hand it to them.
Yeah.
Give it to them the week before or whatever. And the amount of people that stumble over basic paragraphs is frightening.
Yeah.
So nowadays I write our intro and I go and put it through give me a grade level. You know, because you can, it will say, and I'm trying to get for like 6th grade reading ability to get it so these people can
Wow.
That is insane.
That's crazy, right?
Oh my gosh.
It's interesting.
Yeah. So I think it's like a confluence of factors, right? Maybe we're like less literate, and maybe it's just because we're asking a lot of the band.
Yeah.
You know, and doesn't matter. Like most people, they know like the main line of the chorus, the first line of the verse, and then they're off in La La Land.
Yeah.
The rest is for you.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I don't know. But when the article came out, I was like, yeah, that's probably true. People are dumb. You know. But I don't know. It's probably always been that way.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah. Like the longer I see this thing play out, I think it just keeps repeating itself.
I guess that's the theme. It's always been there. I feel like it's just amplified now.
Yes.
All of it's just amplified.
That's a good point. Yeah, it's amplified.
Yeah.
Plus, they have to write controversial articles so that we'll all click on it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well,
I think the dumbing things down thing that you said is something that I feel like I think about for a lot of songs, because some of them I feel like it's too far into a certain niche, and I want to like bring the songs back into a more like try to get it sounding more poppy so that more people could like it.
Well.
Yeah.
I think that's important at the beginning of your career,
Yeah, to just get heard.
Yeah, just
getting
do it.
attention.
Yeah, and then once you have them, then you can do what you want to do.
Yeah, then you can get creative.
We do this on the gig, on a micro. So we're talking about doing it over like a career level. But this is also, we do it on a gig level, meaning your show, right? You give them something. If you meet the audience halfway or even more than halfway, they're more willing to go with you on your next adventure.
Yeah.
So you play something familiar, something they know, something like that, then they're going to be like, okay, they're good. And then they'll go on your freaking 10-minute space trip, you know?
Yeah.
But if you hit them with that at the beginning, they're going to be like, I'm confused. I don't like feeling confused. They suck.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So it's like you kind of, once you've won them over, then I think they'll go with you.
Yeah.
Due to experiment.
100%. Yeah, a lot of bands just start the shows right off with like a cover or something to just grab that attention, prove themselves to the audience, and then once they have that, they drag the audience onto their journey that they actually wanted to show them.
Yeah, well.
And you kind of see that in a lot of bands, like discography. Like usually in the beginning, it's very like poppy and like you like it, and then they start making the music more for themselves and what they like, and then it becomes, I guess, less familiar to the people who found them from like their first or second album.
Right, and then that's where the true fans live.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You know, they're like,
100%.
they're like, that 6th album is the best album. You know?
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
No, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, we are getting to the end of our time right about. That was a really good conversation. I really
Yeah, that was
appreciate you
awesome.
guys coming in.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah. All right, well, thank you for listening to our podcast. I hope it was informative, and have a wonderful day.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Telescope Talks. Make sure to follow the Telescope on Instagram at @the_telescope and subscribe to our podcast on YouTube at Telescope Talks. Have a wonderful rest of your day, everyone.